Sorry about that. He sent me.
Yeah. Call meeting to order. Don't please rise. I ask you to join me in a moment of reflection on the business that's before us this evening. Please join me in a pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk, please take the roll.
Alderman Basso.
Here.
Alderman Begley.
Here.
Alderman Violet.
Here.
Alderman Clifford.
Here.
Alderman Key. Alderman Lewandowski.
Here.
Alderman McGrogan.
On the phone.
Alderman McGovern.
Here.
Mayor, City Clerk, Treasurer, and Attorney are all present.
All right. No special presentations tonight. Under the consent calendar, I've got the approval of the minutes of the City Council meeting for June 7th, 2022, along with the approval of the payroll and voucher list for the period ending June 17th, 2022. Need a motion to approve those?
Second.
Moved by Alderman Clifford.
Second.
Second by Alderman Violet. Discussion. Roll call.
Alderman Violet.
Yes.
Alderman Begley.
Yes.
Alderman Basso.
Aye.
Alderman Lewandowski.
Aye.
Alderman McGrogan.
Yes.
Alderman McGovern.
Yes.
Alderman Clifford.
All right, we'll seal bids tonight. Under my report, a couple things. Obviously, we're under the midst of a heat advisory. The rec center is open for anyone who would need any type of short-term cooling. Also, I asked residents maybe to check with your neighbors, especially if you've got someone who you may know may have some problems as far as getting around, and make sure that everyone's okay. Temperatures were approaching 100 today, so just keep your neighbor in mind. Also, this is the early voting season. Early voting is being held at the rec center until Election Day, which is next Tuesday. You can check cookcountyclerk.gov for exact times, but for the most part, they're from 9 to 5 every day. There's a couple days where they're 9 to 4, but you can go over to the rec center and cast your ballot and be a good citizen, per se. And then just a reminder that, it's hard to say this, but the 4th of July is coming up before we meet again, so obviously, we have the 4th of July parade going down Harlem Avenue on the 4th of July, plus the 3rd of July, we'll have the festivities here at the park, along with the fireworks. So, I guess that means we're halfway through the summer, which is kind of hard to believe, but again, keep in mind, we have still nice things planned for the 4th of July, as we always have done in the past. So, that being said, that's the end of my report. City Treasurer.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Treasurer's report for the month ending May 31st. General fund began the month with $5,967,609. Revenues for May were $1,119,176. Expenses from the general fund were $888,122. Other source use, $6,719, giving an ending cash balance in the general fund $6,205,382. The total of all funds, it began May with $23,997,086. Revenues came in of $1,833,313. Expenses for the month were $1,475,499. Other source use, $88,763. Giving a ending cash balance in all city funds of $24,443,665. That concludes my report, Mr. Mayor.
Need a motion to approve the Treasury report?
I'll make the motion.
Moved by Alderman Violet, seconded by Alderman McGovern. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. City Clerk, do you have anything?
I do not.
Okay. City Attorney?
No report.
Any communications anyone have tonight? Citizens wishing to address the council? With your name and address, please.
My name is Carla Zavala. I live in Palos Pines. I want to know what our options are in Palos Pines. We have an issue with speeding through our neighborhood. We have contacted the police. The police have been contacted numerous times. We had a radar set up last summer. We've had an unoccupied squad car at the end sitting in front of the park. The issue continues. Cedar Lane has become like a drag strip, and it's becoming a safety issue. We have no sidewalks. There's multiple, there's a social media page on Facebook for Palos Pines. It's becoming an issue. It's very vocal, but we need to know what our options are, what we can do.
Well, I mean, if you've contacted the police, we can continue to, increase the patrols, but, it's about all you can really do. I mean,
It's,
Unless there's
somebody's gonna get hurt.
yeah, I understand, okay. We don't want that to happen, obviously.
I have 5 small children.
Sure.
7 and under. There's many children on our block. We have worked with the police. They've been great, but unless they're sitting there, it's an issue. So I want to know, like, do we have options for speed bumps? Like, what can we do as a group? Because it's becoming an issue.
Is it any particular individuals?
There is a specific house that is a common culprit, but that being said, it's not always that house. I don't want to target a specific person, but if you ask, the police will be able to tell you, yes, there's
Okay,
very specific resident.
I understand, yeah.
But that being said, I mean, we live right down the street from the park. There's cars zooming past that park all the time. Like I said, the one last summer we had the radar set up. It was set up in front of a house. We were told that the average speed limit was like 15. Well, everyone saw it, they'd slow down, and it was right in front of a driveway where you're going to slow down to pull into your driveway. You're not going to go into your driveway at 40 miles an hour. But there's been numerous incidents. There's been reports from residents that someone's been doing donuts in our cul-de-sac. Families have gone to try to talk to certain people. They've been told to off. It's becoming an issue.
Okay, I'll talk to the police chief and see what we can do.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
if I may interrupt, I just talked to the police department this morning about this exact incident. I've gotten a couple phone calls on it already, and the speed sign will be coming back,
Okay.
okay? And the police are aware, they have a complete special attention now going into Palos Pines itself.
Great, thank
Okay.
you.
And they are very knowledgeable about what it is.
Yeah,
They've received more phone calls than a lot of people realize.
okay.
So it is being looked into it, and every watch is well aware of it now. And like I said before, they are putting a lot of special attention right in there.
Okay,
The negative, like the mayor just announced, the negative is you must catch them in progress
Right.
doing it.
right, which I understand is hard if
It's
you're,
very much impossible. As a matter of fact, the other, one day last week, they put a car over there for 45 minutes right by the park.
right,
And at that time, of course, everybody was
right.
doing what they're supposed to be. Now, from what I understand, there is a particular car that is supposed to have very loud pipes or something
Yeah.
also.
I-
Am I right?
The pipes, I mean, fine, whatever. I can deal with the pipes. It's the speed.
Yeah,
I mean, the speed is the issue, because we have kids, we don't have sidewalks. I mean, we've
Yeah.
been like walking in the cul-de-sac, they've come close to like clipping us when we're in the street.
That's what
I'm not the only parent that has this concern. It's a very common complaint. And it feels like it's just being talked amongst the families, but nothing, we've talked to the police and they've been great, but again, short of them like parking out and like sitting on my front porch or someone's front porch and being able to capture it, we don't know what to do, so we're asking for help.
They're very much trying to help you out and work
Right.
with you.
I understand.
Okay.
My suggestion would be with the speed thing, last time it was placed on the front lawn of one of the home.
Mm-hmm.
That, like you're gonna slow down to pull into your driveway, so I don't know if
Well,
that's helpful.
They have to they can't put it right at the intersection,
Sure,
because that's where it slows down to go.
Yeah.
You gotta put it somewhere down toward the middle of the block,
sure,
and the best spot available to catch them at the best speed available.
sure. I understand. I know we got the report from that and it was like, the average speed was like 15 or something. I was like, oh, well, I understand that's what the data says, but I can tell you that's not what
Well,
we're seeing.
the data will give you an average speed, but they
Yeah.
will also turn around and tell you what the maximum speed was, and this one particular day, during the time frame they had the monitor up there.
Sure,
It'll also tell you the lowest speed that was on there. So and then they can document it into the timelines when it's available, and that can assist you
Yeah.
as well.
I'll tell you from last year, when it was facing one direction, so they would slow down, and then from the other direction that it wasn't facing, they would come flying. So,
Your point's well taken, so we'll take it.
okay.
Thank you. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate it. Yes, ma'am. Chips, please.
Hello, I'm Amy Shansky. I also live in the same subdivision that Carla does. I lived there for 30 years. And Palos Pines is a wonderful little hub of a neighborhood that everyone gets along. We've never had this problem before. That being said, I do believe the park might be the culprit because there's baseball, softball, soccer, and kids also play golf there. I know they're not supposed to, but they do. But if there's a way that we can maybe get a camera on that little doohickey thing that has the, the radar, that would be great. Because I'm not opposed to sitting in the street in a little chair with my phone videoing this. Because not only are there children, but there's pets and there's adults. I mean, we've been almost taken out, and it's not good. Okay?
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Thank you very much.
Since we're on the subject.
Yes.
So I received an email yesterday from Maria McCarthy on the same subject that was raised regarding Palos Pines. I've lived in Palos Pines since 1985. It's been a wonderful place to live where I brought up my 3 boys. The neighborhood has been a safe and friendly place all of these 37 years. Unfortunately, a family has moved into the neighborhood with 2 young men who've made our peaceful neighborhood into what can be a very dangerous place for all of our young ones. These 2 young men raced through the neighborhood in their very loud cars at a fast rate of speed. Both could not care less about their neighbors' warnings. They are too loud and speeding through the neighborhood at all hours of the day and night. The neighbors have talked with them and their mother, called the police several times, and have spoken with the boys to no avail. We're so worried that one of our treasured children may get run over by these young men. The young men are now becoming confrontive and will stop by our property and confront the members of the neighborhood regarding the situation. I know there's a city council meeting tonight. I'm unable to attend, and thus this letter. Please bring this up, as we feel that the city needs to be involved to help us solve this horrible situation. Thank you in advance for your help.
Thank you. So, we realize the situation. Thank you very much. Harlan?
Harlan Waivoda, 7640 West 135th Street. Kudos to the city of Palos Heights for having the pool open. On a day like today, I work 14 hours. I would rather be at the pool than sitting here talking to you guys today. But unfortunately, it's been 9 years that I've been dealing with this issue. And still, 9 years later, I have yet to see a Palos Heights person come on behalf of me, the person who was affected by all the problems. I have. Please.
Thank you.
All right, as I had said, it's been 9 years, and you're going to see, this is not all the emails, this is just, I took a few select ones. There's no responses here. I did not give the responses because you'll know at the end of what I'm going to say. But please pay attention to the highlighted sections of these emails. Okay, this first one was to Bill Hayes, palosheights.org, date Monday, March the 18th, 2013. Mr. Hayes, I'm attaching a couple more pictures. The first shows just how high our neighbor's backyard is. Secondly, I'm attaching another picture of the standing water 1 week later. Last, our neighbor was pumping the water out of the area yesterday into the front ditch. I'm wondering if maybe the inspector is due to meet with him today and he's trying to show that there is no problem. I'd like to reiterate that there is a problem and it is not going to go away unless something specific is done with the drainage to take care of it. Spring rains are right around the corner. Thank you. My wife, Carol, sent this email out. Now, you'll see the pictures of the man's backyard because he took no fill from the rear of his backyard. None. It's all there. His property used to be 6 inches lower than mine, and now it's 2.5 foot taller than mine. Okay, next email. Please turn the page. This email was to Bill Hayes as well, palosheights.org, Wednesday, May the 21st, 2014. As you know, it poured last night, and guess what? Our front yard, side yard, and some of the backyard were underwater. I thought it was important to bring this to your attention again. I know we've communicated about this in the past. The house built on the lot east of us has created a lot of problems for water flow during rainstorms. The neighbors' attempts at regrading the land have done nothing to rectify the problem. Last night after the rain ended, I was outside with the dogs. Do you know the entire ditch on the property along 135th Street was full, entirely full, right up to the rim, almost spilling out into 135th Street. And this was so only on our property. That neighbor's driveway, because it's so high and because the pipe running underneath it at 135th Street isn't large enough, it stops the water from proceeding east. This morning, the water in the backyard has receded, leaving in its wake a bunch of junk, mulch, and trash. The side yard along 135th Street is still flooded. The land is saturated with water. Mowing our lawn is a joke. The base of the trees, 50-year-old, 200-foot tall trees, are flooded. We are going to be faced with future issues with the trees. We already have 4 trees that have died. And our foundation, if this problem isn't taken care of. Is it maybe time to bring in the county in an attempt to redirect the rainwater? Maybe the water that flows from Forest Preserve under 135th Street through the culvert can or should be redirected elsewhere, which would at least lessen our problems. It's just a suggestion. I look forward to your response and ideas on how to handle this issue. I'm sure no engineer would want to be out in the middle of a deluge, but that may be the only way for someone knowledgeable in this area to be able to assess the situation. This was from my wife, Carol Wyvoda. Last email. Last email to Bill Hayes at palos.heights.org, also the building department at palos.heights.org, also to Morris Engineering. Okay, I emailed Bill Hayes a couple of months ago and he never received a response. Therefore, I am including the building department and Morris Engineering with this email in the hopes of receiving some sort of response. As I told Bill in May, we are having terrible issues with the rainwater and flooding on our property. These problems have continued for the last year. The house built on the property to our east is very high and hence all rainwater stops in our yard and does not continue to flow eastward as it did prior to that house being built. I am attaching pictures taken today showing how badly our front, side, and backyards floods every time it rains. The water has nowhere to go, so it overflows to our yard. The trees and bushes are going to continue to die from all the standing water. Again, I implore you to work with the county and take care of this issue. Now, what I have for you is pictures that were attached. These pictures are 64 cents a copy, so I didn't give you all the pictures. I only gave you 2. Now, this is the last email that everybody's going to find a little bit interesting. Through a Freedom of Information request, I requested all the documentation pertaining to the grading of the property to the east of me. I also requested all complaints that were filed on behalf of this grading with the City of Palos Heights by myself and my wife. I've given you 3 emails of probably at least 15. This has been going on since 2013. And I did receive the final grading survey for the property. And since we're not allowed to have video poker machines, I'd be willing, I got up $200 here, be willing to bet anybody that it's not graded the way that it was supposed to have been graded. If I have any takers, I'd be willing to listen. And then as the city attorney, I believe you're an attorney as well? Attorneys, you will find this very interesting. Through my Freedom of Information request, I have this response from the city. The city of Palos Heights, through my Freedom of Information request, says, the Public Works Department does not have any complaint notes from you. So do we have to check the toilets? Where's the complaints that I've been filing and complaining about? So this is a little bit, so now I'm going to give everybody a copy of the topographical. The final grade is kind of hard to read.
Hey, Harlan, when were these taken?
Those were taken, according to the email, the date that was sent to him that day, 2014.
July 12th, 2014?
Correct.
Again, like I said, the reason that this house was built, sadly to say, was because some dumb idiot, namely Harlan Wyvoda, was kind enough to want city water and sewer to be able to go to my neighbor. So I allowed the city of Palos Heights to put a sewer and water line through my front yard at no cost to the city of Palos Heights. That same easement that I granted to the city of Palos Heights, I sold to Nicor for $20,000. So I didn't benefit from the city putting the sewer and water through my front yard to run water to my neighbor. Now this house was able to be built because of the fact that now it had sewer and water, so the neighbor was able to subdivide it. The only thing that I got out of it was a berm that was built by the city of Palos Heights, and Adam Jasinski, who came out on behalf of the neighbor when the neighbor started to complain, said, well, the reason that I can't get my water to be dispersed is because the berm. The berm is my problem. And I said to him, well, then when are the city going to come and fix it? And he says, we don't fix berms on people's properties. I said, well, ironically, if you look at your easement agreement, the city of Palos Heights is the one who built it. So I am a single income person right at this moment. We're paying almost $13,000 a year property tax on a house that I paid $125,000. I cannot afford to keep paying money for something that I did not create. I'm out $7,000 already, and I have a tree that they want $3,000 to $4,000 to take down. And I feel that I should be reimbursed. I should have never had to put this thing in there, because if it is my berm, I didn't build the berm. But it isn't my berm. It's because the city did not make him grade this property the way it was supposed to be graded. And then the city finally made him put a pipe in, and we call it the pipe to nowhere. Nobody can find where the end of it. I wouldn't be shocked if you dug it up if it just was a piece of pipe laying in the ground, because it didn't work, obviously. So thank you for your time, and again, kudos to the city of Palos Heights for having a pool and having it being open, because I drive by a lot of I drive a train, and I run by a lot of pools, and right now a lot of them are closed.
Well, Harlan, just so you know, I've had numerous conversations in the last 2 weeks with Adam, and he thinks he's got a way to solve this. It's going to involve using the county and getting the county to agree to it, so that's where it's going to happen. So,
like, how about my neighbor's backyard? If you look at this, my water's supposed to run through his backyard.
No, it's not. So,
what's that?
I don't believe it's supposed to do that.
If you look at this.
If you read the comment, it goes away from your house. So, okay, he's working on it, though. All right, any other citizens? Okay, standing committees. Finance, Alderman McGugan?
Mr. Mayor, we don't have anything to report this evening because we did not have a meeting.
All right. Public safety, Alderman Basso.
Oh, yes, Mayor. I have no items on the agenda, but I have several announcements to make. First off, today is the first day of summer, so we've heard a couple issues about speeding cars and careless drivers, perhaps. And I would request and hope that everybody could be especially alert now that more and more children are on the streets and the parks and riding around on their bicycles and their scooters and toys, et cetera, et cetera. It would not hurt and take but a second for everyone to at least tap their brakes when they come to an intersection, because as I've stated many times, I live on a corner and I can watch that never happens. People zip right through, and it's amazing that there aren't more accidents than there are. So just remember that the kids are out there, the more parents are out there walking around, and safety first, and be a little extra considerate and kind to your neighbors. Also, I was reminded of the half marathon Special Olympics that took place last week. Through all the efforts of Deputy Chief Billy Chakowski. Billy Chakowski organized that event, and Billy Chakowski ran that event, and I assume several other people, and many other people did. And I would like to thank him for that and all the people that participated. And the weather didn't cooperate too much, but I understand there are X number that did make that mileage and succeed in that event. Also, I would like to remind you, we're talking about speeding and careless drivers and thoughtless drivers. Statistically proven that a clean car is a safer car. And you probably wouldn't even believe that until you started thinking about the details of that statement. If you have a clean car, hopefully your windshields are clean, you can see better. And hopefully the lenses on your headlights are clearer and cleaner, and they can project further into the road. And if the interior of your car is clean and neat, you will be less likely to be distracted for things that might be moving around in your car when you're driving, and things that you might think are important to reach for or grab for they don't fall on the floor. And if the outside of your car is clean, other cars can see you better, and your car stands out better. And which brings me to a final point that talking about clean cars, we have a new car wash in town, and they've been giving away car washes for the last 2 weeks. It's a wonderful, wonderful idea, I think. A car wash on Route 83 and Ridgeland called Clearwave, and at least 2 weeks now they've been giving away free car washes as a grand opening publicity kind of item. So you might want to take advantage of that while we're talking about car cleanliness and safety. And finally, on the way here today, at 6:45, I noticed the mailman was on the other side of the street. At 6:45 this evening, he's still delivering mail. And second only to the post office, I guess, in a dedication that our post office and our postal workers, I'd like to thank people from Channel 4 for the fine job they do, whether it's raining or snowing or sleeting or freezing or boiling or whatever. They're always out covering the events in the city and providing great programs for whoever watches Channel 4. So I'd like to congratulate them and thank them, and that's the end of my report.
Great, thank you. Alderman Begley.
I have no report this evening,
All right,
thanks, Mayor.
thank you. Planning and zoning, Alderman McGovern.
No report this morning.
Alderman Key is not here. Okay, thank you, sir.
I move to approve the second payment to George's Landscaping in the amount of $57,369.60 for work completed on the Misty Meadows Park project.
Second.
Moved by Alderman Violet, second by Alderman Clifford. Discussion, roll call.
Alderman McGrogan.
Yes.
Alderman Clifford.
Aye.
Alderman Violet.
Yes.
Alderman McGovern.
Yes.
Alderman Begley.
Yes.
Alderman Lewandowski.
Aye.
Alderman Basso.
Aye.
I move to approve annual payment to Time Clock Plus in the amount of $4,944.06 for administrative services to the Park and Recreation Department.
Moved by Alderman Violet. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Basso. Discussion, roll call.
Alderman Lewandowski.
Aye.
Aye.
Alderman McGrogan.
Yes.
Alderman Violet.
Yes.
Alderman Basso.
Aye.
Alderman Begley.
Yes.
Alderman McGovern.
Yes.
I move to approve the reimbursement of Jan Duty for a sprinkler system in the amount of...
No, that's wrong.
It's mine.
That's Clifford.
Back off.
That's-
Whoa. That's the
You're
end of my
done.
report.
You're done. Okay. Alderman Clifford, roads and construction.
You want to continue?
No.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Don, for the assist. I have a motion to approve reimbursement for Mr. John Duty for sprinkler system in the amount of $6,592.65.
Moved by Alderman Clifford, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Basso.
So you know what this is about. It's when 123rd Street reconstruction was done, NICOR was to inform the city 10 to 14 days ahead of time, which they neglected to do. So they came in and started cutting up properties and here and there and sort of missed on Mr. Duty's quite a bit. Saw cutted his driveway completely apart. The sprinkler system was in there, was further up, almost by his house. They weren't supposed to be there. So being that they cannot reimburse Mr. Duty directly, they will be, we will be paying the $65.92.65 and therefore being reversed. City will be reimbursed from NICOR, and that's what that's saying. So it's, we're not really paying, we're getting reversed,
Remember.
but they're reimbursing Mr. Duty.
Roll call?
Alderman Clifford.
Aye.
Alderman Violet.
Yes.
Alderman Lewandowski.
Aye.
Alderman Begley.
Yes.
Alderman Basso.
Aye.
Alderman McGrogan.
Yes.
Alderman McGovern.
Yes. They're a little complicated here, but, you know, it got worked out. Motion to approve payment to Morris Engineering for engineering service for various projects in the amount of $41,312.13.
Moved by Alderman Clifford, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Basso, discussion? Roll call?
Alderman Basso.
Aye.
Alderman McGrogan.
Yes.
Alderman Lewandowski.
Aye.
Alderman McGovern.
Yes.
Alderman Clifford.
Aye.
Alderman Begley.
Yes.
Alderman Violet.
Yes.
And at the end, just a notification that they will be starting and doing work on Ridgeland Avenue. It'll be a little disarray there, probably one lane each way for a while they ground down the medium down there. So approximately from Route 83rd to 135th Street.
Great, thank you, sir. License, permits, and franchises, Alderman Lewandowski?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have no items on the agenda this evening. However, I would like to remind everybody that vehicle stickers are now on sale at City Hall, and they're due by June 30th. But to avoid your late fees, please get those vehicle stickers by July 17th. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Great, thank you. Water and sewer, Alderman Violet?
I have no report, Mr.
All right. Special reports, Alderman Key, does he have anything?
No, he
No,
does not.
Cable TV, Alderman McGovern?
No report, Mr. Mayor.
All right, old business, citizens wishing to ask questions? New business?
Question. I had a late request from Navajo Homeowners Association on block parties
Right.
and stuff of that nature, and I told them that they probably need a permit for
Right.
that. If they have to, and then they came back and asked, what if they don't close off the street? And I said, well, probably same thing pertains when you have a group of people. So they would have to run that through license and permits, correctly?
Right.
All right, thank you.
Okay. All right. Entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?